to my YouTube channel. So today we'll be dealing with the introduction to the law of person, which is dedicated to the first year law students. Yes, guys. So yeah, please sit and let's get going. So today I've provided few aspects and points whereby we're going to deal with them, because these things are pertaining to what transpired in chapter 1 of the law of persons. And it's just easy, guys. I mean, after this, trust me, come test, come exam, you'll be able to tackle everything that's going to come pertaining to this aspect. So now, the first thing you should know in this chapter is that you should know as to what is a law of persons. And obviously, I am aware that you guys know as to what is law of persons. Obviously, law of person, it is that part of private law whereby with this private law, it determines which legal beings are legal subjects. And this legal beings, we're going to actually concentrate as to where, we're going to concentrate as to where their legal personality begins and end, whereby where their legal personality begins and end. We'll focus on that in chapter 2, but then for today we're just going to do chapter 1, which is the introduction. And we also need to know that law of person is also concerned with the legal status, which involves a person, right? So now it is important for you guys to also know as to what is the legal subject and what is a legal object, right? So now a legal subject, obviously, it means anything that have to do with rights and duties or capacity, meaning that legal subjects, they carry out rights, duties, and capacity, whereas it is an entity which the law recognizes as such. It attributes the capacity to have rights and duties. Unlike legal objects, whereby legal object, obviously, it is just anything of which legal subject can have right and duties, right? That is why legal subjects make use of legal objects. So there are different categories that you guys need to take into account of legal objects, such as corporate things, personal properties, personal intellectual performances, intellectual property, and trade secrets. And you of course need to know this prior to exam as to explain the different types of categories. So I'm going to give you guys example as to categories pertaining to legal objects. So starting with corporal things. So corporal things obviously are separate, whereby this include tangible items which are spectable, such as human control, whereby people can have value on them. And then moving forward to the next legal object, we have performances. So with regards to performances, this involves human act, whereby it is just anything that is done. Obviously, this one is an easy one. So an example that I can give you guys is, let's say two people and B, they agree that A will sell something to B, whereas B has a right to say that I want this or I don't want it. That is a performance. A performance need to be carried out in that specific specific contract. You understand me? Then we have personality property, which is another category of legal object, right? So whereby this relates to any aspect of a person's personality, such as a person's right to his or her name. So yeah, this is just straightforward, whereby I hope you guys know as to what is this. So that being said, now we're going to different legal subjects. Okay, this is just a straightforward one. You guys are aware to that we have different legal subjects, and the main ones are two, whereby we have a natural persons and a juristic persons, right? So with regards to a natural persons, this just involves anything, as in not everything. So with regards to natural persons, so this is it is important for you guys to know as to that every human being obviously can have right, duties, and capacities. Although contracts of this right, duties, and capacity, they may vary depending on factors such as mental capacity of that person. So natural persons, it's just like me and you, obviously. But then with juristic person is a different thing, because juristic persons, they are referred to what? These are referred to legal person. These are referred to let me just say companies. Actually, companies are juristic persons because we do what? We represent represent them. So anything in which natural persons represent, that is regarded as a what? As a juristic persons. So you also need to know examples of juristic persons, such as a what? Such as banks, mutual banks, companies. You see, all these things, they are represented by what? By natural persons, whereby natural persons, they carry out performances on their behalf. You understand me? So we've dealt about that. So now we're going to the law and the rights, right? So apparently, period to coming to to law of persons name. So it is important for you guys to know the different types of rights in law of persons, whereby these rights are four. So but then there are three important, the other one is not important. So you should know the real rights pertaining to law of persons, you should know the personal right pertaining to law of persons, and personality right, whereby by real person we're referring to ownership, such as a car, furniture, and etc. So with personal right, we're referring obviously to performances, you understand me, such as a contract being signed. And then due to personality right, we're referring to a person's personality, just such as a reputation. So those are the four rights that you as an aspiring attorney should know pertaining to what? To law of persons, right? Then the last aspect that we're going to deal with is the impact of the Constitution on this model. Like we said earlier, the law of person, it is that part of private law in which determines what? It determines which legal beings are what? A legal subject, whereby we are involved in the status of this legal subject. We are involved in the what? We are involved in the certain effects that are pertaining to the effect of the legal person's status. So that being said, in cognizance of the Constitution, the first point that you should know is that the Constitution is the supreme law of SA, whereby anything that is not in cognizance of the Constitution is held what? Unconstitutional, meaning that when merging the law of persons and the Constitution, it is important that when we deal with the status of a person, you understand me, when we deal with the duties that a person need to carry towards this module, it need to be in cognizance of the what? Of the Constitution, you understand me? So meaning all these things need to be fair, they need to be equal, they need to oblige with section what? Section 8, they need to oblige with section 9, section 10, you understand me, etc. and etc. So that was just an introduction in chapter 1 as to what is the law of persons. And then we're going to do sort of like question whereby we'll be just going through this. So now guys, we're back on the question. So it is important every time that when you deal with the chapter, please ensure that you assess yourself in order to ensure that you understand, So we're going to deal with questions pertaining to chapter 1, which is what I've summarized in for you. So now the first question that I'll ask you guys is, name two classes of legal subjects the law recognizes. The two legal subjects which the law recognizes, I told you that it is a natural persons. The law recognizes a natural person and what? And a juristic person, right? And then we know that natural persons, it's just like an example can be given as me and you. We are natural persons, you understand me? And then juristic persons are entities such as companies, whereby natural persons act on behalf of those entities, you understand me? They just enjoy the benefits. Okay, you understand me? As in, they enjoy the profitable income we've made on their behalf, you understand me? So now the second question, is monster regarded as a legal subject in our law? So no, monster is not regarded as a what? As a legal subject, right? So then because you do know as to what is a legal subject. A legal subject is anything or any entity in which this entity can have right and duties. And we do notice that a monster cannot have right and duties, right? So now the third question is, name the entities that are recognized in our law as jurisdiction persons, right? So the entities that are recognized in our law as juristic persons, I told you guys, are things such as associations incorporated in terms of what? In terms of bank, institutions, things which we natural persons can act on their behalf. They give rise to what? Entities of juristic person, you understand me? And then now, is a partnership regarded as a juristic person? This is where people get confused, Aniti. A partnership can never never be regarded as what? As a neutral person. You know why? Because it does not have the separate legal personnel. You understand me? It doesn't. Because you know why? Because all those rights and duties, it exists between what? Between the pastors. Between the partnerships, whereas no one needs to act on its behalf. The partners themselves, they are the ones who act, and it's going to benefit them. It's not going to benefit anyone. Unlike a bank does form part of a jurisdiction, because it's going to enjoy the fringement and people act on its behalf. So with the partnership, the same people who interacted in a partnership, so they are the ones that are obliged with the word right and duties. So that's it for the day, guys. I hope you enjoyed and you gained something. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Bye.